Hello and good evening, everybody. I am Jeffrey Eberger, and welcome to Holistic Mental Fitness Series, where myself and Mupo Entertainment LLC, who I'm very excited to be partnered with along this journey, along with Mupo TV, believes that mental fitness is the new physical health. And before I actually bring onto the stage my very special guest tonight, Oliver Dibblee, if I may, as a certified holistic wellness coach, I'm very humbled to be aligned with an amazing group of humanitarian entrepreneurs who are actually aligned with the only holistic mental wellness company focusing on the microbiome. So you ask, what is that? It's actually the gut, brain, heart axis health, a science that's disrupting the health and wellness industry today, especially when it comes to mental wellness. Who out there hasn't experienced stress, anxiety, depression, or even have had suicidal thoughts? In this interview series, it's very near and dear to my heart, sharing stories of others, opening up conversations from all areas of wellness to help people understand it's okay to talk about mental health, share experiences, and become informed of alternative options out there that are safe and work. We provide real solutions for real people who are actually serious about getting their physical and mental health from barely surviving to thriving again. And there is no physical health without mental wellness. They are two sides of the same coin, and they are vital for each other and for our ability to reach our peak potential in this one life that we get to live. So, actually, how you feel is not just in your head, it's also in your gut. And this is actually what we do the best. So before I bring on my special guest, we're going to take one more commercial break here. And I'd like to let you know that this interview series is in collaboration again with Mupo Entertainment and can be viewed on mupotv.com, or you can actually download it on, it's an app that you can download on Android or the iPhone. It's also viewed on Roku, Fire Stick, YouTube, and accessing a plethora of other amazing shows that are sharing their expertise in all areas of life today. So when I come back, I will have Mr. Oliver with me. Stay tuned. Okay, we are back and welcome. We have Mr. Oliver Dibblee. He is with us tonight from Salt Lake City, Utah. He's married to his beautiful wife, Lisa. They have three adorable children, two sons and one daughter. He is the executive vice president of global sales for the Holistic Mental Wellness Company, and he actually brings 12 years of experience in the consumer product goods vertical. And prior to joining the Holistic Mental Wellness Company, he has spent 3 years as Senior Director of Business Development, responsible for $900 million in sales over North America Business Suite. And this is the man about town when it comes to the woo factor. So welcome to Season 2, Holistic Mental Fitness Series, Oliver Dibblee.
And I think I don't know what that creature was dancing, but that just made me super excited. So I love that music. I love the guy's dance moves. So I'm ready to rock.
Awesome. Well, before we get started with the questions tonight, share with the viewers who Oliver is.
Who Oliver is? That's a good question. You know what? I always say this is I'm a dad and husband first. So, you know, as Jeff said, I've been married for 14 years. 3 kids, ages 11, 9, and 6. So they're my world. They are why I do what I do. So I'm a family first guy. I love my family. Who I am, you know, it's a question that I look back to say, how do I want to be remembered? And when people say, hey, tell me about Oliver Dibblee, what do they say? And I think who I am, hardworking, dedicated, and I would say a mantra I have is discipline equals freedom. And it was something that the CEO, Jared Turner of Amari, was asking me a question of who I am. He's like, hey, who is Oliver? What drives you? And after a bunch of probing questions, that's what it came out. He's like, you know what I think you are, after kind of knowing you and hearing about you, it's discipline equals freedom. And so I would say all wrapped in that: family, dedicated, hard worker, and disciplined.
That's outstanding. And Oliver Dibblee, I need to go to your hairdresser.
Hey, believe it or not, maybe I planned it. I actually got a fresh cut for this interview, so it takes a while. Dr. Sean, who's a bald gentleman, always says, "Hey, I go to your barber and he just messes up my hair." So I said, "You tell me you want the bald eagle." So high and tight.
Yeah, it only took me about 5 seconds to do my hair for the show tonight.
Very lucky. Very lucky.
All right, so let's get started here. I have to start out with the very first question. What was the attraction from a dermatologist-inspired skincare company to the holistic mental wellness company?
Totally. So I was there, the prior company, which was a direct sales company, for about 3 years. And they sell premium skincare. They have great products. And one of their slogans they do say is they transform lives, right? If you've had acne or wrinkles or sun damage or this or that, they have products that can help repair that. And so with that, right, it was cool to be a part of, to actually see, teenagers that used our teenage product to help with their acne. We had Lash Boost and other products. But you probably know, I don't know if I have a passion for eyelashes or wrinkles yet. One day I might. But long story short, the transition was because of this. So to be honest with you, I really wasn't looking for a change in jobs. I was happy where I was. I had a great job. And a headhunter reached out and just said, hey, there's a job opportunity. It's a company called Amari. I had no clue who that was. They work with the gut-brain axis and the microbiome, and they have a lot of supplements that are changing lives. Would you like to go hear about it? And I said, absolutely. So long story short, flew down to Newport, where our headquarters are at, met with Hip, our founder and chairman. He interviewed me for, I don't know, 7 hours straight after he bought me steak. Yeah, it was pretty intense. But it was pretty cool to see his vision of what he had, back in 2016, 2017 on a whiteboard, and just saying, this is what I want. And this is what I'm looking for, someone to run my sales department. Are you in? And, leaving California and going back, and my wife was like, how was it? I'm like, it was awesome. And looking at Dr. Sean and the products and the people and the community, it was kind of a no-brainer, because I would definitely say, without a shadow of a doubt, I have more passion for this gut-brain axis and making people feel better, physically and mentally, than I do with selling wrinkle cream. And I always tell the joke too, when, I work there, I said to my 11-year-old son, what do you tell your friends I do for work? And he said, oh, you sell lotions, women's lotions. So it wasn't the best intro to his friends. And now he says, you make people's guts feel better and their insides. So it's kind of a cool concept.
Oh, that's great. I remember flying out to corporate back in 2018, and HipTran looking me in the eye and saying, Jeff, we will be changing the world. And when he said that to me, my heart just filled with a lot of admiration, and I believed him. And we are doing that. So it's a very exciting journey, and excited to see what's going to happen over the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years.
Totally.
So on the second question here, there's 3 points. So you talked about, the gut-brain-heart axis, and it is really cutting-edge science. I believe it's a science that's disrupting the health and wellness industry today, especially when it comes to mental health. And then we're growing in triple-digit growth in every aspect of a business model today in this industry. And then we've got our community, which is the amazing corporate staff and their affiliates who are out in the field, and then the field representatives who are, really having some amazing synergistic energies that are being developed with a tremendous amount of passion. So with those 3 key points, working in this industry with other companies, what is your perspective on these 3 key points, specifically related to the holistic mental wellness company?
Totally. So if you think about it, and we'll go back to my interview with Hip, and there was a couple of things I asked is, obviously tell me about the executive team and their background and all that. But the biggest thing I wanted to know as well is, how big is this opportunity? And obviously, how big is Amari within that.
Right.
And one of the coolest parts about it is the mental wellness industry is about 120 billion, so with a B, and projected to be in the trillions, which is awesome. So the market size is big. The market isn't slowing down, and Amari is really less than 1% market share.
Right.
So when you couple that to what Hip Transvision is to be the biggest mental wellness company in the world, that got me super excited. The other point to this gut brain axis and cutting edge science is, number one, it's an evergreen opportunity, meaning you'll always want to help people who are languishing or not feeling better, or something's wrong internally with my gut. And, I don't have as much energy. I have brain fog. We have all those products and they truly transform lives, which is something you want to be a part of. And that was something to say, if I'm going to move companies and industries, I want to be with a company not only sells products that work, but I'm with a category that will never fade. No one will ever say, hey, Jeff, are you still with that company that makes people feel better or happier?
Right.
Is it be really awkward? You're like, yeah. And they're like, oh, that's too bad. They're like, awesome. Let me talk about it. So that's one aspect of it. Your second question was about growth. And it really does. We'll stick with the direct sales channel. I have a lot of friends and contacts in this industry with different companies, and either they're declining or they're plateauing or they're maybe closing some markets. And when you look at what we're doing, growing double and triple digit growth revenue year over year, no one's really doing that in our space, let alone this industry, and growing, 3x our business partners and 2x our customer base. And so the growth is phenomenal. And I say just outside the direct sales, I was at PepsiCo for about 7 years selling potato chips. And when we had 3, 4, 5% growth year over year, they were doing cartwheels. And when we look at a company to say, well, we're growing 80, 90, 100% year over year, it's tremendous and crazy. And then your third point or third question is about community. So there's two aspects of the community, right? There's the executives I work with every day. And with this acquisition we just took a part of, I'm working with them closer than ever before. But it's really cool that we have over 150 years experience in this space,
Right.
which should give a lot of people, that, not to say any doubt or fear, but as people come on to say, do these executives know what they're doing? And 150 years is pretty remarkable. And then like Jeff and many others, our community, our business partners, they're tremendous. They have big hearts. And I would really say they're love focused first, right? Amari means love. And when I came on board, I think, Jeff, we met each other, New Jersey, maybe. Was that the first?
At Beck Sadek's.
And I remember just being surrounded and everyone's so nice and caring and loving and all that. I'm like, I feel I found a really awesome home. And so when you couple those three components of the right opportunity, the right business to be in, obviously, and one that will never grow old, a business that's growing double and triple digits growth revenue year over year, and then a community that actually wants you to succeed, it's kind of a no-brainer of what we're doing here and why we're being so successful versus some other companies out there that aren't.
That's thank you for those answers. That's really great, and it's very inspiring. The takeaway for me with this triple growth is really showing and proving that we do have something that people are looking for. Unfortunately, with the pandemic and what's been going on over the last couple of years, it's really taken people on a roller coaster ride. However, we have solutions, and people are looking for solutions, and it's just a matter of getting in front of the right person who is providing those solutions for them.
Totally.
So that's great. And I want to also send out kudos to the corporate executives, because you guys and gals are doing phenomenal work and support for the field. So applause going out to all of you there in Utah and California and wherever else, because some are in Texas, and so they're spread out all over the place. So kudos to everybody. So you talked about acquisition. Kiani, we just acquired them September 20th. Yeah. And I know this has a huge opportunity from a global perspective with regards to 55 plus countries. So what does that really mean for the mental wellness company?
So let me start with this. So I was actually at Kiani's headquarters last week, and so met a lot of their staff and employees. And I spoke a little bit about this acquisition and this strategic partnership. And one of the things I said is it would have been really awkward or weird if we would have acquired a company that didn't share not only our values, but kind of our mission and really kind of our product line. And for those that don't know Kiani, they sell wellness products that make people feel better as well. They have proteins and electrolytes and,
Right.
other products like that. So systematically, it was a great partnership. But I would say the founder of Kyani, he has a heart of gold like Kip. And it's funny, like they're opposites in a way, but at the same time, their hearts are so big and connected in a way that it's truly remarkable. And Kyani actually has a pretty, sad story. About 3 years ago, a couple of their founders and some other people, died in a plane crash. And so that legacy of them wanting to reach $1 billion in revenue and continue to have success has been their legacy. And so when you look at what this means for Amari, it also means something special for Kyani, right? Over 50
Right.
countries. And we have a slogan or a vision of what Jared Turner, our CEO, said is March to 1 million, which is being 1 million homes in the next 5 years. And I feel with this acquisition, it kind of closed that gap a lot. We're going to get there a lot faster than if we didn't have this strategic partnership. So I'm super excited about it. Their field's awesome, just like ours. They're hungry, they're aggressive, they want to grow. But I also think too, they look at our products of, hey, this isn't going away. This gut brain axis is cutting edge science. It's going to complement our customer base as well. Oh, and educate those that have maybe never heard of the second brain. So
Exactly.
I'm super excited with this partnership. It's awesome, and I'm glad we partnered with someone that has the same core values as us.
That's so key to growing a business and for the field to really embrace, because those 5 core values, when I walked away in 2018, have resonated with me from that day moving forward, because it is so important, especially integrity. And integrity is huge when it comes to getting to know, like, and trust people. And that's what we're all about. And sharing that love and wanting to help provide information and direction for those that are really looking for it. So as you know what? So you've actually, you started May of 2021. We actually met in June of 2021.
Okay, yeah.
What's been your experience during that time, specifically with Amari Global versus some of the other companies that you have been privileged to have worked for?
So the biggest difference I would say is we're not a startup necessarily, but we're not old, right? So coming in, I mean, we had, when I started, 30-ish, I believe, employees. And I've worked with billion-dollar companies that have plethora of employees globally.
Mm-hmm.
And so I probably would say the biggest difference is this felt more like a family. There wasn't a lot of red tape, communication lines were open, but also too, the one thing I love about this company and still do is how we can pivot and navigate really quick when things come up, right? Hey, we got to make this change, or can we do this? In a big corporate environment, it's like, hey, too bad, so sad, and live with the consequences. And so that was one aspect of it. And then I'll keep going back to our community base, our wellness partners. Truly from the heart, they want to do what's right. Of course, money's important. They want to make money.
Sure.
Everyone does. But at the end of the day, they really want to say, how do I take care of my business partners and my customers to ensure they get what they need and they feel a lot better? So I honestly would say the 2 biggest things that stand out is a smaller corporate style environment that makes it feel less stuffy, more ways to collaborate and get things done quicker and pivot if needed. And then a community that is just rock solid from the heart, that truly just love people and want what's best for everyone.
Awesome. That is phenomenal. So we are the holistic mental wellness company, and we focus on gut brain health protocols, whether it's a supplement line, whether it's talking about exercise, nutrition, or even stress management. And this, along with a couple of other packs that we have, are really helping people scale from a physical and a mental perspective. So people are out there, they're really looking for that support when it comes to motivation, brain health, neuron regeneration, focus, and memory. Lots of problems with that over the last couple of years for many, many people. Mental energy. People are drained. They're drained at the office, and they come home and they just flop on the couch and watch TV. Their endurance is low. So I wanted to share this a little bit of information here regarding this Happy Mind Pack, because it's all about the neurotropics, feeding your brain with the right nutrition from a holistic perspective with regards to plants, because plants were put here for a reason. Now we're using them, and we're utilizing the essence of these amazing plants that have been put here, and excited to share this with you. So here you go. All right. So that was the Happy Mind Pack, and you can go to holistichappymind.com and grab it if you want. So with that, we're kind of coming up towards the end of the interview here, Oliver. And generally, I bring on people who are, who have had some amazing stories that they I'm privileged to have them share, be open to talk about their journeys, whether it's extreme to the mild case, whatever. And this is so important to bringing this out into the open. And I know one of the things that I really cherish at the end of my interview series is having asked this question to everybody that I'm interviewing, that there's somebody out there that's really looking, and that it's that hope. Because I know I was looking for hope about 4 years ago with my journey. So if there was that one person out there that was looking for one piece of advice that would change their life and give them that glimmer of hope, what would that be from you?
So a couple things I would say is, and I think a lot of times with direct sales companies, right, they get a bad rap. I'll just say that straight up. I think we can all admit that. But I also think too, and everyone says, hey, we're a little bit different or this or that. When you look at what our mission and our purpose is, it is to make people feel better. I mean, bottom line, that's what we can talk about the science and go into the different ingredients and what that is. But if you look at what Dr. Sean has created, clinically studied, scientifically backed, all the things that he has done over his years, and he's got more letters after his name, including PhD, is so awesome. But he does this because he cares, and he knows that there's an alternative out there to make people happy. So, one of the things I tell people all the time, say, well, I'm a little bit scared to join a business that does this. What should I do? So there's the one thing I would say, and this goes for both people that are out there saying, do I have to be the smartest person in the room to be very successful in this business? And I say attitude, not aptitude, determines your altitude. And I think that's one thing we can do as well with our companies. We change that attitude feeling. You feel a lot peppier and happier and all that. So as cheesy as it sounds, and when, that piece of advice to change the world, I don't feel I'm Socrates or Aristotle or some guy that's going to give a quote, but I think, never lose hope. And that's the biggest thing. And this when, listen, I've been down before, and I'm like, hey, I hope there's light at the end of the tunnel. There always is, but it's always nice when you have a product that you take and you're like, I feel a little bit different, or I feel a little bit better. I feel my mind is more clear. I have a little pep in my step. Jeffrey's drinking his happy juice pack when he's like, hey, right there. So that's what I would say, man, is attitude, not aptitude, determines your altitude. And I said, no matter where you're at in your journey, just know, never give up. But number two, there's products out there that truly work. And that's why I'm at Amari. Like, I wouldn't be here if I didn't believe in it. I would have stayed at the old company and just said, hey, I'll just keep selling wrinkles, lotions, and just have my son say he sells ladies' lashes now. But to actually see a difference, like in my own life by taking it, my family's life as well, you start to build a testimony that is so authentic and so true.
Right.
When people listen to it, they're like, I want to try that. And I believe that's what we have here.
I couldn't say it any better. We definitely have something that is game changing for tens of thousands of people, soon to be 100,000s of people, into the millions. And this is going to be an exciting ride for all of us who are passionate about becoming a humanitarian entrepreneur as we lead the global holistic mental wellness revolution. And with that, I want to thank you for taking time from your busy schedule, because I know that you are tremendously busy with everything that's going on, and our conference coming up next month,
Yep.
and then the trip to Panama in November.
Yep.
But it's been really a humbling experience to get this information that you're sharing from your heart with my audience here and the Mupo family audience. And next week, I'm going to be bringing on board a very, very good friend of mine who's become a very good friend of mine, Stephen Fillmore. He was a flight attendant, and he is a cancer survivor today, and is thriving as a holistic wellness coach as well. He is going to be talking about going from a cancer survivor to a cancer caretaker, because his husband has been diagnosed with cancer. And we are going to be sharing that journey and that story, along with some really great nuggets that he's going to share. So with that, lastly, I believe we all should be living in abundance and optimum wellness, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially, because finances are the number one stressor for most people today. And remember this: mental fitness is the new physical health. And I will see you on the inside next time. Thanks for joining.